Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Even the name sends chills down your spine. This ominous structure stands on a windswept hill in Louisville, Kentucky. It was once a beacon of hope. Now, it's a place of despair. Built in 1910, Waverly Hills was meant to be a sanctuary. It was designed to treat the growing number of tuberculosis patients. But fate had other plans. Tuberculosis was a death sentence back then. There was no cure. Patients came to Waverly Hills seeking treatment. Many found only suffering. The air was thick with the coughs of the dying. The scent of disinfectant couldn't mask the stench of death. Over 6,000 souls perished within these walls. Their despair seems to linger still. The treatments were experimental and often brutal. One gruesome procedure involved collapsing infected lungs. This was done to stop the disease's spread. Imagine the terror those patients felt, strapped to tables, struggling for air, their cries echoing through the halls. Those cries seem to echo still. Death's shadow lingers. As the years passed, the death toll at Waverly Hills climbed. The sanatorium became a symbol of fear. Locals whispered tales of the horrors within. The staff, overwhelmed and heartbroken, did their best, but they couldn't escape the feeling of dread. The building itself seemed to absorb the suffering. By the 1960s, a cure for tuberculosis was finally found. Waverly Hills closed its doors in 1961, but the spirits of the dead seemed unwilling to depart. The building stood abandoned, a decaying monument to a tragic past. Some say the darkness that permeated the sanatorium intensified after its closure. Stories began to circulate. People claimed to see shadowy figures in the windows. Unexplained noises and cold spots were reported. Was it just vandals and overactive imaginations? Or was it something more sinister? The stories attracted attention. Paranormal investigators whispered the name Waverly Hills with reverence and fear. Among the countless spirits said to roam Waverly Hills, a few stand out. There's the story of Timmy, a young boy who loved to play ball in the hallway. Visitors claimed to hear his laughter and the bouncing of his ball. Could it be Timmy, trapped in a perpetual game? Then there's room 502. Legend has it, a pregnant nurse hanged herself there. She was distraught after contracting tuberculosis. Now people report feeling an overwhelming sense of despair in that room. Some even claim to have been physically touched by an unseen presence. And who can forget the chilling tale of the death tunnel? This underground passage was used to discreetly transport bodies away from the main building. It was meant to shield patients from the harsh reality of the disease. Today, visitors and investigators claim to feel an oppressive presence in the tunnel. The air grows heavy and the temperature plummets. Waverly Hills Sanatorium stands today as a chilling reminder of our mortality. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead seems thin. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's an undeniable energy that permeates this building. Is it the residual energy of thousands of lost souls, or simply the weight of history bearing down on us? Whatever the explanation, Waverly Hills continues to fascinate and frighten. It's a place where history and horror collide, leaving a lasting impression on all who dare to enter.